everyone, please give it up for the first black comedian of the evening, Adam Degi.
So much. Oh my goodness. That's a little much. Yeah, let's talk about something though that we can all agree on and that doesn't make anybody uncomfortable. The pride flag. What do you guys think? I think it's great. I think it's pretty cool. It's a rainbow. It's, I think, the least threatening flag of all the flags, but somehow threatens the most people, you know? You know how sometimes the people who are threatened by the pride flag will see it and in retaliation they'll show you the American flag and they'll say something like, "This is my pride flag." Holy shit. That's gay. That is super gay. You got your own pride flag? At least the rainbow people share theirs, you know? I get it. Stand for the flag, kneel for the cross, swallow for the NRA, but how many mass shootings have to happen in your mouth, you know? It's true what they say. You can't spell the Second Amendment without a little D between two men. Think about it. Picture it. Spell it out. That is not an anti-gun joke. That is a pro-spelling joke. So it will offend a lot of the same people, but that's just silly spelling joke, you guys. All right, let's pull it back. Seriously, I know the country is very divided. I only want to talk about stuff that we can agree on. But seriously, guns. What do you guys think? This may surprise some of you, but I think if you're an adult, you should be able to own whatever gun you want, and you should be able to have as many of those guns as you want. Yeah, what do you think about that, you liberal cucks? Huh? But I will also say, I don't think anybody should be able to own a gun unless you can show proof of your father's love. I think that should be a rule. Just some footage of him coming to a game or something, or pictures of him hugging you, or proof he didn't say shit like colorings for girls, stuff like that. And I know some of you are like, well, what if I didn't play sports? Well, you can't have a gun. Sorry, those are the rules. You probably got bullied. We don't trust you. All right, seriously, let's talk about something that doesn't make people uncomfortable. The Epstein list. What do you guys think? Yeah. I know it doesn't exist anymore, so we don't have to worry about it. But the Epstein list is a lot like Jesus coming back, because every year people talk about it happening and it never does, you know? Oasis came back, you guys. The fucking band Oasis came back. Before they released the Epstein list. Who saw that coming? And I know sometimes you'll bring it up and then people will be like, are you sure you want him to release the Epstein list? I bet Joe Biden's on it. Nobody gives a fuck if Joe Biden is on it. Nobody worshipped Joe Biden. Some of us, believe it or not, we don't worship and blindly follow any politicians. I think whoever is on it, fuck them, right? Yeah. I don't think your calls for justice and your morality should hinge on political parties. Should it? Right? Especially not when it comes to the Epstein list, right? So fuck those people. I don't give a shit if I find out my dad was on the Epstein list and he's been dead over a decade just like Joe Biden. I mean, I would kind of be like, the old man knew a guy with a private jet? We didn't even meet him? I would have hung out on a jet with Jeff. Where are the Capri Suns at, Jeff? I don't really care who was on it. I think that's a weird thing to get excited about. I was more excited about what the Epstein list was going to look like if they finally released it. Like, I was kind of hoping when they finally released the Epstein list, it was just going to look like one of those festival posters. Where the most famous people have their names in the biggest stacks, and the least famous people have their names in the smallest stacks, you know? Like, oh, the Clintons, I know them. I saw them live in '99. Bill rips on the sax. I think in a perfect world, only billionaires would be pedophiles. Let me start over. What I mean is, if you had to be super rich, at least you could take comfort in the fact that you knew you had to accumulate generational wealth to be a pedo, right? Because now anybody could do it. And the 1% has all the wealth, right? 1% of the population has all of the money. And we're like, fuck those people. 1% of the pop shouldn't have all the money, but if 1% of the population had all the pedophiles, you'd be like, that's not that bad. It's only 1%. Yeah. And you could be like, yeah, that old man at the end of the street is kind of creepy, but at least we know he's not going to do anything to the kids. He can't afford it. He lives on our street. How much money could he have, you know? He can't afford to be a pedophile on a priest's wage. Are you kidding me? Oh, too real now? Some of you went to Catholic school, too. Maybe not historically accurate, but... Some people don't think white Americans have culture, but those people have obviously never heard of matching pajamas on Christmas. Yeah, we're trying. I married into culture. My wife is Indian, and her dad came over here from India, met a nice Irish woman, so my wife is technically half Indian, and that means our son is technically 25% Indian. So his blood is tainted, but no, I don't work for ICE. I'm not wearing a mask. What I mean is, like in terms of the black web or the black market, if I were to try to sell my child, I couldn't ask for pure blood price. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I could ask for pure blood price. He looks like he's full gringo. He's got like a mild spice level, but if they did a DNA test, there might be a return to sender situation, and I don't know what the return policy is like on the black web, but probably not as easy as Amazon. And the only thing worse than selling your kid on the internet is selling your kid on the internet and having them sent back. Can you imagine the embarrassment having to show your face in front of the other people who sold their kid, you know? It's gonna be an awkward Thanksgiving. It also doesn't make sense that white babies would cost the most on the black web. That doesn't make sense. You'd think it'd be like inner city minority kids with tall parents. You want that kid to go Division I or not? And whatever you do, don't Google pure blood white baby. Don't do it. You'll end up on a list, you guys. I'm a dad, and I love my son. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. But I'll be honest, for the first 9 or 10 months, not impressed. They don't do a lot, you know, not a lot of tricks. He was always slumped over. Terrible posture for starters. Awful posture. Couldn't keep his head up. Kind of pathetic. He kind of looked like Pinocchio pretending he's not alive, you know, just... I'd set him on a bar stool, he'd just fall off. He gets that from me. I'm just saying, I put a roof over your head, put food on the table, least you could do is sit up, have some fucking respect. So my wife would always say, well, we gotta do tummy time. We gotta do tummy time. You guys familiar? Yeah. She'd say, we gotta do tummy time. We do tummy time, he'll get his neck strength up, he'll keep his head up. We gotta do tummy time. And I'm like, tummy time, isn't that what we used to call it when I'd pull out so we could avoid all this shit? It's a jizz joke, you guys. I don't like kids' clothes. I noticed this, especially when my son was a baby. Anytime there's like a onesie or like a cute shirt for a baby, it's always, any message is always very condescending towards the dad, but very uplifting for the mom. It'll say stuff like, I'm cute, mommy's hot, daddy's lucky, you know, shit like that. I'm adorable, mommy's hot, daddy has male pattern baldness. And I'm like, who's even making these? I'm smart, mommy went to college, daddy has a learning disorder. Who the fuck is making these? I think we could be better parents, probably. We have our own insecurities about parenting, you know. Sometimes I think we're the worst parents. But then we'll go to a public park. Have any of you guys been outside? Just watched other people. Over the summer, we went to a public park, and there was a new couple that had a newborn baby. And one of them was holding the baby, and the other one was holding a blunt, and they were smoking a blunt. And then they would switch, and the other one would hold the baby, and the other one would smoke the blunt. And I nudged my wife, and I was like, see? We could be better parents. I mean, look at the chemistry between those two and the teamwork. That's beautiful. I mean, they created life, sure, but they're not going to let that life get in between them smoking a little chiba, you know? I mean, sometimes that baby does literally get in between them smoking the weed and probably gets a pretty good contact buzz, but that's just one of the benefits of being part of the family blunt rotation. You know, good for that baby. Are both of those parents probably higher than Snoop Dogg riding a giraffe on stilts? Yeah, probably, but should either one of them drive home from the park confidently? No, probably not, but that's why you take the public bus to the public park where you smoke the blunt with your baby. Puff, puff, bus pass, you guys. My son can actually watch a full movie with me now, which is pretty sweet. That's a cool development because his attention span is almost as bad as mine. And we'll watch a full movie. We watched the movie Free Willy over the summer. You guys remember Free Willy? Still slaps. Still slaps. We were both laughing, smiling the whole time, kind of enjoying this father-son moment, you know. And end of the movie comes, Free Willy happens, the title of the movie. He gets free, jumps over the rocks. CGI's terrible, but my son doesn't know any better. And then that Michael Jackson song starts playing at the end of the movie. You guys remember that Michael Jackson song at the end of Free Willy? Banger. And I was like, da-na, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da. And he's smiling, I'm smiling. We're kind of non-verbally communicating that we're enjoying this memory together. And then I start singing along. I'm like, hold me like the river Jordan, and then I will say to thee. And then I stopped. I stopped and I said, you know the guy who sings this is also a great dancer. I'm kidding, he's a pedophile. He's rich, he can be. And we laughed. My 3-year-old really thinks pedo jokes are funny. He laughed a lot more at the Epstein stuff than you guys did. And then I reached over my son and I handed my wife the blunt we were smoking. He said, what kind of weed is that, Daddy? I said, that's that Free Willy, silly. I'm a 3-time cancer survivor, you guys. 3 times, yeah. Thank you. I've had stage 3 melanoma twice. It was in my lymph nodes, and I've had stage 4 melanoma once. They found it in my lung. And I'll be honest, of all the white privilege, that's not the kind I wanted. But that's the kind I got. And I've had lymph nodes removed under each arm, so now I've got lymphedema in my left arm and hand. I don't know if you can tell how much fatter the left hand is than the right. So a lot of times, I can't even fit my wedding ring on my finger, or at least that's what I tell my wife. But the arm gets real big, so I gotta wear these compression sleeves to keep the size of the arm down now, and I buy these sleeves from a website called lymphdudes.com. That's a real website, you guys. Lymph Dudes. Lymph. PH. Don't get the wrong idea. I actually had to buy a second sleeve to put on the hog. So, to keep the size of that down. Some people think I wear this sleeve to cover up offensive tattoos. They think I got like a whole arm of Tesla tattoos or something. Or whole arm of the new Cracker Barrel logo or something. You motherfucker! No, I don't have any tattoos. And it's not because I don't like tattoos or I don't think I could get tattoos. I don't want to be one of those people who changes their mind, and I know I probably would. Changes their mind and then they black out all their tattoos. Have you ever saw that? People will black out like a whole sleeve of tattoos. I don't really get the logic. Yeah. It's like, oh no, I accidentally peed on the floor. I better shit on top of it so nobody sees it. What? Why don't you just keep the tattoos? You're gonna black out your whole arm, your whole left arm? You're gonna black out your whole driver's side arm? Do you want to get pulled over? What would you do if you had face tattoos you regret? Just give yourself permanent blackface? I actually found out I had stage 4 cancer on the anniversary of 9/11 2 years ago, you guys. It's a true story. Not ideal. There's never an ideal day, but that's definitely not the best day to find out. But as a comedian and an overall bad person, I did think, finally I can make this about me. But I couldn't even think about me. All I was thinking about was 9/11, like most Americans that day, and all the terrible imagery and just how bad it was and the conspiracy theories. I couldn't stop thinking about the conspiracy theories. I'm not even a conspiracy theory guy, but my poor oncologist is like, she's going over the game plan for treatment and what we're gonna do and telling me how she's got other patients my age with cancer and a lung too that are in remission now, and she's really just trying to give me hope for the future and telling me that I'm gonna live and that it's not terminal, but she could tell I wasn't listening to her and thinking about something else, and she was like, Adam, listen, I think we can beat this. And I said, do you really think jet fuel can melt steel beams? I think this cancer in my lung is a lot like 9/11, and I think it's an inside job. I think getting AIDS is cooler than getting cancer, right? You ever think about that? Nobody else thinks about that? Just because if you get AIDS, at least people assume you had a good time. Yeah. They're like, this guy was either doing a lot of needle drugs or having a lot of sex or getting a lot of blood transfusions. Those are fun. But you get stage 4 skin cancer, they're just like, you shouldn't have went outside. Gotta cut your lawn inside or something. I've noticed this from years of doing cancer treatment, 6 years on and off, mostly on. And a lot of the cancer facilities, the treatment centers around the country, probably the world, they'll have a bell on the wall called the victory bell. And when you finish your treatment, as a way to say this is a huge accomplishment, you get to ring the bell, which is very symbolic. That's beautiful, right? And I thought it was special and unique, but then I realized that Arby's has a bell on the wall. For when people feel like they've received good service in the lobby at an Arby's. And I just feel like as Americans, we need to come together and make a decision on how seriously we're taking our bell ringing. Because I think that people actively trying to beat cancer deserve a better sense of accomplishment than the people who are assembling and or eating fucking beef and cheddars. And no offense to the people who work at Arby's. I know you have the meats, the processed meats, but some of us have the cancer, so you can go fuck yourself. Can't have one group of people actively trying to beat cancer ringing a bell and another group of people actively trying to give themselves cancer ringing a bell while they dine in at an Arby's, hitting their vape. What flavor vape is that? Horsey sauce? It's horsey sauce. I hit it between bites. And there's no way that the staff at an Arby's wants to hear people ring that bell. There's a 0% chance that when people ring that bell, the staff at an Arby's is like, fuck yeah, we're crushing it today. No, they're like, God damn it, if one more person rings that bell, I'm gonna rip it off the wall. If nothing else, it's just motivation not to give people good service. Taco Bell doesn't even have a good service bell. And bell is right in the name. Probably because Taco Bell has no intentions of ever giving anybody good service. My wife and I get Taco Bell more than I'd like to admit, and my wife is lactose intolerant, and every time we get Taco Bell, she's like, please don't put cheese on any of this. And every time Taco Bell's like, well, guess what, bitch, we're putting cheese on everything. They put cheese on stuff you're never supposed to have cheese on. She's like, did they put cheese on my cinnamon twist? Yeah, I think they did. They really hate you. My dad is dead. I don't know if the door guy told you, but my dad had stage 4 cancer, and he had stage 4 lung cancer, and he had to do radiation and chemo treatment towards the end. And when he was doing all this treatment with the lung cancer, I also happened to be smack dab in the middle of binge watching the cult classic series Breaking Bad. Yeah. And if you're not familiar with Breaking Bad, the protagonist in the show was a guy named Walter White, who was a chemistry teacher in high school, who found out he had stage 4 lung cancer and had to start doing chemo and radiation, and he knew he was gonna die, so in order to make enough money to take care of his family when he was gone, he started to cook and sell the best crystal meth in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And if you've ever been around somebody who has to go through radiation and chemo with stage 4 cancer, you know that accomplishing all that is nearly impossible and not very realistic. But it was still really hard for me not to compare my dad to Walter White from Breaking Bad, who was going through the same thing with the same type of cancer. And I remember people would be like, Adam, how is your dad doing? You know, how's he handling treatment? And I'd be like, to be honest with you, the old man is kind of sandbagging it. You guys saw the conglomerate Walter White was out there running with. He was out there getting it. In no less than 6 months, he became a bona fide trap star, stacking paper, making millions, killing people with his Pontiac Aztec. Meanwhile, my dad's talking about, I need to take a nap. Fuck a nap, Dad. We need to get out there and traffic that blue crystal. A nap ain't gonna provide for this family. You need to accumulate enough money to put me and my brother through college. I get it, we're both in our mid-30s, but it's never too late to go back to school, Dad. Community college exists for a reason. Now, get a little pep in your step. Drink a Red Bull or something. We're going to prop you up in this wheelchair, push you down to the science store, buy some Bunsen burners and some beakers and shit, and... Because this meth ain't going to sell itself, El Padre. Could have at least had a reality show where I just try to convince my dad to sell meth. Could have called it Breaking Dad. I almost didn't find out I was still in remission. I had a PET scan a couple months ago, and I found out that the tumor in my lung was gone. I almost didn't find out because I was going to cancel my PET scan because I read somewhere that RFK Jr. said you can just eat a highlighter and fart on an Etch-a-Sketch. So I almost just ate the highlighter and farted on the Etch-a-Sketch, but then I remembered RFK stands for really fucking crazy, so I got the PET scan anyway. I will give him credit. I will say this much. He's taken all the dyes out of foods, all the poison toxic dyes out of foods. That is good for him. It is crazy, though, that they're so desperate to make America white again that they're taking the color out of the food now. We don't want any color. We don't want any spice. I don't think it's that big of a problem. I mean, it is. We got to get rid of the colors in the food. I think it's a bigger issue, though, that there's a large portion of the country whose favorite color is ranch. I think that's a bigger problem. I've had a lot of day jobs since I started doing comedy because of my success, and worked at a corporation for a while. I don't know if you've ever had a real job. A lot of times at those real jobs, you work for a big company, instead of giving you more money, they'll just have pizza parties. Somehow that stops any of us from quitting or demanding more money. And a few weeks before I quit my last real job, they had a pizza party, and a few days before the party, they made the announcement to like get everybody excited, like, don't bring in lunch tomorrow, we're having a pizza party on us. But as part of the announcement, they also had to include that they wouldn't be providing ranch. Just so nobody would come in the next day and be pissed that there was no ranch, you know? How goddamn fat are we? That we have to literally warn people that we won't be providing ranch in the event of a work pizza party. Because God forbid you don't take that dough covered in ooey gooey greasy cheese and sweet sauce and dip it in a thick buttermilk condiment, you know? And I do it, it's delicious. But I want to know who the first person to do it was. Actually, I want to know who the first person to witness somebody dipping their pizza in ranch was. Because they had to be like, did you just dip your pizza in ranch dressing? And that person was like, yeah, I don't care about stuff. Cream of mushroom soup is the glue that holds most white people's recipes together, isn't it? We love that shit. I had a bowl of cereal this morning with some cream of mushroom. That's hearty. That's comfort food. That's a Cracker Barrel brunch, you guys. I've noticed recently I can't really eat quinoa without thinking about Joaquin Phoenix. It's kind of a weird problem to have. Huge fan of cilantro. That's something I didn't eat until I was in my 30s because I grew up in a small white town. And cilantro is great. Did you guys know that some people genetically think cilantro tastes like soap, though? Did you guys know that? Yeah. They're called poor people. That's what they're called. I don't like it. It tastes like soap. You don't like soap. Your taste buds are in poverty. Oh, I'm sorry, did you expect that to taste like iceberg lettuce? Is that the problem? Has most of the Mexican food you ate been in the bottom of a bag of Fritos? Is that the issue? That's a walking taco. That's a prison meal. That's what that is. Do you live in a cell? It's a dead man walking taco. Hibachi's fun, right? You guys do hibachi? Nothing worse, though, than when you're at Hibachi and it sounds like another group is having a lot more fun than yours. You hear the people in the back corner like, what's going on back there? It sounds like a lot of sake being drank, you know? Hibachi really is just kind of a microcosm of life, because the older you get, the more you realize you're just in a different hibachi group now. One year you're drinking less sake, the next year you're not even drinking any, then the next year you're not even asking for yum sauce anymore. And it just gets to the point where you got to look at your reflection in that big steel bowl they bring the vegetables out in and ask yourself, am I the reason this hibachi group isn't fun? And maybe you're okay with it. Like when you're on the sober side of hibachi, it just kind of looks ridiculous, you know? 13 or 14 grown men and women with their mouths wide open, just waiting for some sweaty hibachi chef who you know he hates you. You know he resents you. You believe what he has in that bottle of sake. You don't know what it is. You just trust him to squirt it in your mouth from 8 feet away. Grown men with their wives watching and just... Every now and then that stream of sake hits him directly in the back of the throat. And it just cascades down his chest. I got home from the road one week, and I noticed there was a can of Pringles next to the curb on the ground, on the pavement. And I did what I think any respectable adult would do who pays their taxes, and I walked over to investigate. And it looked like the ceiling was still on the top of the can of Pringles, and it looked like that, the top was still on. And I kicked it, and I could tell by the sound it made rolling on the pavement that it was empty, which is a skill I've developed over 25 years of being a worthless piece of shit. And I was very upset, but I didn't even pick it up and throw it away. I just kept walking to the house, and I got to my front door, and I stopped, and I said out loud to myself, "You are gonna eat those fucking Pringles." Have you really gotten to the point in your life you were willing to eat street Pringles? Do you guys remember when Elon Musk was the president of the United States for a while? That's crazy. Richest man in the world. He owns Tesla, but 14 kids is a lot. I mean, even if you have the most money, it's not enough. I think it's because he knows if you pull out too soon, you won't get a full charge. Remember how he was supposed to find all the corruption and stop it? Asking the richest man in the world to find and stop all the corruption is like hiring Kanye West to make a speech at a bar mitzvah. Then acting surprised when things don't go your way. And I love Kanye. Say what you want about him, but his talent's undeniable, He's one of my favorite rappers. I don't like it, though, when you find out a rapper has a ghostwriter. You guys know what that is? When you find out somebody's writing their lyrics or their bars for him, I never would have thought in a million years Kanye West ghostwriter would be Mel Gibson, but found that out the hard way. And I do like hip-hop, man. A lot of people don't like hip-hop and rap, though. A lot of country music fans say they don't like hip-hop because it all sounds the same. A lot of country music fans say they don't like hip-hop because it all sounds the same. That kind of sounds like the pot calling the kettle the N-word, doesn't it? Speaking of slurs, I think we need a new slur for white people. I think that's what can bring this country together, finally. We can all agree we need something better, right? Just for traffic. Because what's the best we got? Cracker? That's the best? Yeah, nobody cares, And I know there's some people stupid enough to say to their black friends or probably their coworkers, "How come you can say cracker, but I can't say the N-word?" Oh, gee, I don't know, maybe because the N-word is the worst slur in the history of mankind, and cracker is also a snack you can eat with Cheez Whiz. Maybe that has something to do with it. Have you ever had company over and got out a platter of N-words and cheese? No, you probably haven't. So my idea is active shooter. Now listen, I know it's bad. I know it's terrible. It's supposed to be. It's a slur. It's supposed to sting. Because I don't give a shit about cracker, but if you're like, I'm not going to a country concert, that place is going to be packed full of active shooters. So I'm like, hey, my family goes to those things. I can tell you guys this much, I don't ever want to date again. But there's no way my wife's going to leave me with this bomber jacket, so. That's good, I just spilled water in my pants. It's just not good because the second show, everything has to look the same, and it's just, I moved my dick to this side, and that's... All the way back to high school, I was bad at dating. I remember I had a ex-girlfriend in high school who decided to start a rumor that I was gay just because I cheated on her with a couple guys. Let's not jump to conclusions after one isolated incident that happened 8 or 9 times over a summer, okay? It was the summer of 2003. That was a summer of love. I got a friend who's a serial cheater. He's always cheated. That's the only thing he's ever done. He's cheated on every girlfriend he's ever had, cheated on a few wives. Had a couple divorces, obviously. But he hit me up like 6 months ago, and he told me that he is faithful for the first time in his life. He's been married for a few years, and he doesn't cheat anymore because he found God. And I think that's great. Good for him. But you gotta wonder, how long before he meets a younger, better-looking God? And a lot of people don't like that joke, but just remember, a lot of people get cheated on because they don't laugh at really well-written jokes. So make your decision, you know. Remember the show Cheaters? That was fun. They would just follow somebody around with a camera who was cheating, being unfaithful, you know. It was a good idea. Nothing bad ever happened. A couple of people got stabbed. It was fun, though. I want to do a reality show a lot like Cheaters, right? But instead of following people around who are being unfaithful to their significant other and cheating, what we're going to do is we're going to just catch gay people who are still eating at Chick-fil-A. You know? Walk up to him with a microphone like, "What are you doing here?" But then we'll also go around the country, especially in the South, and we'll catch rednecks who are still drinking Bud Light, you know? After they said they'd boycott. And we'll say the same thing to both groups of people, like, "Are you gay or not?" You guys remember when we didn't know who people were going to vote for? Before people made it their entire identity? No, you guys don't remember that? Because I looked around the room, a lot of you have been around for a while. I remember, before the pandemic, I remember I saw a grown man, he was sitting on the back of a pickup truck, putting rollerblades on. And I was like, I don't know who that guy's voting for. That's good. That's what we want, you know? Because I know where I'm at politically. I definitely know. But every day, I'll take I'll step to either side. I don't ever go all the way one way, but just steps to either side. It's kind of like the cha-cha slide, but the political cha-cha slide in my head, you know, depending on what I heard that day. Like somebody on the far left will say something like, "If you eat cheese, you're basically Hitler." And I'm like, slide to the right, you know? But then somebody on the far right will say something like, "My right to own an AR-15 is more important in your kids' lives." And I'm like, to the left right now. You know? And libertarians are like, both sides suck. Crisscross. Yeah. Somehow everybody on both sides is like, "Yeah, it's okay if we fund genocide. Everybody clap your hands." Yeah. Don't fucking clap your hands for that. And she whistled. Holy shit, that's the woman who's been calling ICE. That's her. That's her. She's got it on speed dial. The morning after the election, I called my wife and I said, "Listen, sweetheart, I know that you're smarter than me, and I know you're college educated and I'm not. And I know you have a better job than I do, and I know you make more money than I do, and I know you make most of the decisions, but I guess I'm in charge now?" I'm kidding, I didn't call her. I didn't have the balls to call her. I just texted her, she didn't respond. I'm a cuck. I'm a cuck. She's not always in charge, though. I'm a grown-ass man. You know, I still do what I want when I want. Puff my chest out. Like, for example, my wife's been giving me bags of stuff to drop off at Goodwill for years. And I've just been throwing that shit in the river. Yeah. I did that! I made that decision. I destroy the environment and restore the rapids. One bag of pantalones at a time. I think bowling a 300 is a great way to tell your family and friends you've wasted most of your life. Practicing something nobody should give a shit about. I've also noticed if you go in a bowling alley now, it's been well over a decade since the smoking ban, but you'll notice immediately it still smells like shit. Which brings me to the conclusion, it was never cigarettes, you guys. I think it's pretty obvious we need to ban people who bowl. These people stink. I think yoga pants are responsible for most of the unwanted erections I've had in public. That probably means I gotta wear jeans more often or whatever. Yeah. I didn't ask you to picture it, that's your own fault. Blame that on your imagination, it's to the left. I've noticed recently that the less active I am, the more I just want to be in activewear. Basketball shorts? Yeah, I'd wear those every day if I could. Those are very comfortable. Basketball? Probably not, you know? Not for a long time. Sweatpants? Yeah, that's pretty much my uniform in the fall and the winter. Sweating? Not unless we're gonna have sex. Nicole? That's my wife. Sports bra? I'm wearing one right now. Sports? Not since high school. And yes, I said I'm wearing a sports bra. Don't panic, I'm not gonna outswim your daughter in a race. I'm 41 years old. I've never swam competitively, and I've had cancer 3 times. If you have a daughter that's in college or high school and I can swim faster than her, she's slow. Don't blame less than 1% of the population because your genetics are bad. I'm too old and too married for dick pics. I wasn't cool when I was young. If I want to show my wife my penis, I just show it to her. No reason to get a middleman and sprint involved, you know. But I have heard it's about the angles, you know. It's about the angles. The youth told me it's about the angles, and you got to have something for scale next to it, right? So they know how big it is, but you don't want it to be too big or too small. I did this bit in Detroit last winter, and some dude from the back of the room said, "Comcast remote." He said a fucking Comcast remote. I said, yeah, maybe you. I'll take the batteries out of the Comcast remote. Oh my God, is that a double A? Double D. I think I'm comfortable with the size of my penis. Sometimes I do get insecure about the fact, though, that I can't really make anybody gag unless I'm super aggressive. So a couple times a month, I'll just soak it in vinegar, you know? I don't even gotta put it in my wife's mouth. I just get it close to her nose. Oh my God, did you pickle your dick? You're goddamn right I did. It's kosher. Put it in your mouth. year I had to take cancer pills. You take them, you swallow them, and my wife was pregnant for the first 6 or 7 months I was taking these pills, and they told my wife if she wanted to handle the pills to give them to me, she'd have to wear gloves, because you don't want to be around chemo when you're pregnant or trying to conceive, because there can be, birth defects and complications and stuff like that. And I was like, she's got to wear gloves just to touch them, and I'm supposed to swallow them every day? That doesn't make any sense, right? And after she had our son, I had to take these pills for 5 or 6 more months. And they told us at this point that if we wanted to have sex again, I would have to wear a condom. Because again, you can have birth defects and complications and stuff. And I'll be honest with you guys, my wife and I have been together for over 15 years, and I can't remember the last time I wore a condom. And I think at this point, I'd rather have a conjoined twin. Than wear a rubber again. I'm not falling off the raw dog bandwagon just because I got a little cancer, all right? I didn't beat cancer 3 separate times for diet pussy, all right? Didn't do all that treatment for vagina 0. So we want to have a second kid. We both had to get looked at, because I've had the cancer treatment for 6 years, so obviously there was some questions. And my wife's 37, so she's basically with hospice care. And we're both good, but I had to make a deposit at the fertility clinic. Any of the guys in here ever have to make a deposit at the fertility clinic? No? Everybody in here perfect jizz? Because the lighting's pretty good in here. I looked around the room. Doesn't really look like a perfect jizz audience, I'll be honest. But, all right. You got 2 options when you make a deposit at a fertility clinic. You can do it there in their room, which I don't recommend. I had to do that the first time. Or you can drop it off. You can make a delivery. Yes, exactly. Couple things, though. You got to go there to get the special cup. You can't just bring it in Tupperware. You can't show up with it in a Cool Whip bowl or something. You have to get the certified cup. And they want you to keep it warm. So I had it in the cup. They want you to keep it up against your body, keep it warm. You got to get there in a timely manner. You got to get there very quick. But I live pretty close to the fertility clinic. I almost got there too fast, When you get there, you got to write down the exact time you got the poison out, right? But I didn't want them to think I did it in the parking lot, so now I got to lie about the time it happened. And I got this cup filled with my own stuff up against my stomach and the waistline of my pants. Now I feel like I'm sneaking into a music festival or something. I gotta make eye contact with another grown man while I push it over to him, still warm. And I just feel like that's a transaction we shouldn't have to do face to face. I can't just put it in the plastic thing and send it up through the tube like I do with a normal bank. Have Uber Eats deliver it or something. They've already got the bag to keep it warm. But it was still better than the first time I did it. The first time I did it there in the room, and I don't know if anybody else has ever done it, but you walk in, it's a small room, as you can imagine, and there's just a row of counters, a sink, and in the other corner is a leather recliner. One leather recliner. There's no plastic on this chair. They don't even put down like the body length piece of human delicatessen that they have at the chair at the normal doctor's office, right? You can see the imprint from the last guy that sat in the chair. Yeah, still warm. I was like, I'm not sitting in that fucking chair. I stood up on the counter. That's what I did. I stood right up on the counter above the sink. I'm not gonna make a mess. And it's 2025. There's no magazines in there, Times have changed. They know you're not going to use your imagination, or at least I hope they don't think I'm going to use my imagination. I don't have one anymore. So they know you're going to use your phone. They know you're going to look something up on your phone, but you're in a small room inside a building. There's no cell service. I'm not going to be the guy that's like, what's the Wi-Fi password in here? It's 1, 2, 3, don't come on anything. That's the password. I get to travel and do this almost every weekend, you guys, which is pretty cool. And I get to meet a lot of people who in the past would have just been strangers, but now I bond over similar health, and I make a lot of friends that way. And I think that's one of the silver linings in my situation with having cancer 3 times before I turned 40. And I hate to get serious tonight before I get out of here, but I met a woman named Ruth at a distillery in Elk Rapids, Michigan, a couple winters ago. And she approached me after the show. She told me she was a breast cancer survivor. She thought it was funny, and she thought it was cool I could talk about cancer and even try to make that funny, and it really helped her with her situation. And Ruth and I talked for 2 or 3 hours that night. We had some drinks, and we really got to know one another. We really bonded. And I think if there's one reason I still travel and do this despite having cancer 3 times and all of the issues it's caused in my life, I think it probably is the one-night stands. Of course I fucked that woman in Elk Rapids. My wife and I can't bond on that level. She's never been sick. She almost wants me to sleep with these other cancer survivors. She didn't give a shit about Ruth, the breast cancer survivor in Elk Rapids. She didn't care about Ken, the colon cancer survivor in Iowa. The colon cancer's gone. I know, I checked. She didn't care about Susan, my friend's mom down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She's not even a cancer survivor, but she's 79. She's a survivor. So every year for Father's Day, I bring my son to my dad's grave, 'cause it's fun. He doesn't really know why he's there, but he does understand what a cemetery looks like. So now no matter where we are in town, if he sees a cemetery, he'll say, "Hi, Grandpa Paul," which is adorable, it is, but I'm always like, on this side of town? Grandpa Paul wouldn't be caught dead on this side of town. Your Grandpa Paul actually had a plot of land next to his dad at the cemetery that assured both of them they wouldn't be buried next to any people of color. So he's not in that cemetery. I just made that last part up, which is one of the best parts about having a dead dad is you could just say whatever you want. Nobody's gonna call you out. What, are you gonna fact check me on Paul Degi? Go ahead, Google it. Google, was Paul Degi racist? Nothing's gonna come up, I hope. We'll never know, because he died before the last 3 elections, so. And I don't know what to tell him, because I don't even know what I believe, even for somebody who's had to face their own mortality 3 times before they turned 40, you know? I do know a lot of things I don't believe, though, based on videos I've saw on the internet. You guys ever saw those viral videos of, like, the church seizures? You know, like the hallelujah shakes? I don't know, touch somebody on the forehead and they'll like convulse and stuff. Or they'll have miracles where the 2 most common miracles you'll see that go viral are they'll cure paraplegics, or they'll touch somebody in a wheelchair and they'll walk for the first time. Which I feel like if they did that enough, those people would have started a 5K by now or something. And the other one you'll see the most often is they will turn gay men straight, which is even less believable than curing the paraplegics, honestly. And there's one specific video that went viral of this southern black gay guy who they claim to have turned straight. And in the video, he just keeps repeating, "I have been delivered. I have been delivered. I don't like men's no more. I don't like men's no more." And immediately you're like, this guy still likes men's. This guy definitely still likes men's. And I just think it's crazy that those are the 2 miracles they perform the most. Like, in their eyes, being gay is as much of a tragedy to them as being a paraplegic who can never walk again, which is pretty fucked up, right? even, I don't care how you feel about gay people. I mean, I do, but for this joke, I don't. And it's even more fucked up for the paraplegic in the wheelchair, right? Who can never walk again? I'd be like, you think that's as bad as this? Like, oh, you think it's sad your uncle's in a wheelchair? He'll never walk again? Well, my uncle's gay. Oh, you think it's sad your uncle's always sitting down, he can never stand up? Well, my uncle is always on his knees. What do you think about that? I do think it'd be really funny, though, if they actually really did cure a paraplegic, but when they got up to walk for the first time, it was the most flamboyant gay walk you've ever saw. You cured the wrong part. The devil wears Prada, bitch. All right, we're gonna finish doing something a little ridiculous. So you guys down for it? Yeah! Okay. Tell you something a little personal about me. I was homeless for a while, and me and some other homeless guys started an a cappella group. And we only sang the hits. And we called ourselves the Loitering Outside a Barbershop Quartet. You guys want to hear our top 2 hits? Okay. The second most requested song the Loitering Outside a Barbershop Quartet ever got was a song called Illuminati, I Hope That Shit Is Real. It went a little something like this. Illuminati, 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 they're gonna kill us, they fucking kill us. Illuminati, 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 Illuminati. They got Beyonce, and they got Jay-Z, and they got Kanye, I think it's crazy. They got Beyonce, and they got Jay-Z, and they got Kanye, I think it's crazy. Illuminati, 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 100 more times. Illuminati, 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 Illuminati. Are you uncomfortable? You're supposed to be. Illuminati, Illuminati, Illuminati. They're gonna kill us. They got Beyonce, and they got Jay-Z, and they got Kanye. I think it's crazy. They're eating babies. They're eating babies. They're eating babies. Illuminati, 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 Illuminati. When it comes to population control, I hope that shit is real. Thank you. That's Illuminati. I hope that shit is real. Took a long time to park tonight. Gotta get rid of some people. All right, I'll be honest. I was never really homeless. Is that going to ruin this for you guys? Yeah. Well, I'm going to do it anyway. Number 1 most requested song the Illuminati, a.k.a. Loitering Outside a Barbershop Quartet, ever received was a song called Excuse Me, Mr. Sir. Excuse me, Mr. Sir. And it went a little something like this, you guys. Excuse me, Mr. Sir, would you happen to have some change? Mr. Sir, would you happen to have some change? Mr. Sir, would you happen to have some change? Mr. Sir, would you happen to have some change? Mr. Sir, and I know it might sound kinda strange, Mr. Sir, and I know it might sound kinda strange, Mr. Sir, and I know it might sound kinda strange, Mr. Sir, but if you follow me in the alley, 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 follow me in the fucking alley, follow me in the 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 alley, follow follow me in the alley and take off your pants and take off your pants and take off your pants. Take off your goddamn pants and take off your pants. And you do it quick, 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 quick. I'll suck you. Excuse me, Mr. Sir. Thank you guys so much. I love each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the best. I appreciate you so much. Have a good night, Grand Rapids.
Remember, exit out these side doors right here. Thanks for coming, everybody. Get home safe.